I should have seen it coming. The cracks were there, hairline at first, easy to miss in the everyday hustle. Like the quiet hum of a problem before the engine blows. 40 years with John, a lifetime, right? Manhattan apartment, kids raised, careers done. We thought we'd earned the quiet, the easy slide into golden years. New York, though, she never sleeps, and neither does life. Not really. Underneath the surface, beneath the routines of morning coffee and evening news, something was shifting, something dangerous. It wasn't a grand explosion, more like a slow burn. I didn't wake up one morning and decide to torch everything John and I had built. It was gradual, insidious, like fog rolling in off the East River, thick and silent. By the time I understood, it was too late to turn back. This isn't a love story. This is about betrayal, about how one stupid choice can detonate your entire world, about the lies you tell yourself, the people you think you know, the life you swear is solid. It's about desire, that sneaky devil, leading you down a dark alley you never meant to enter, and the price you pay when you get lost. John and I were a team. That's the story I always told myself. We met in the city, young, 20-somethings with stars in our eyes. He was dreaming up skyscrapers, studying architecture at NYU, and I was shaping young minds, teaching history at a Brooklyn high school. Love hit fast, like a subway train out of control. Married within a year, bought a co-op in Queens, started building what I thought was the perfect New York life. 2 kids, Sarah and Michael, who became our universe. Years flew by in a blur of school plays, soccer games, and weekend trips to Long Island. We had bumps, sure, every marriage does, but we always found our way back. Now, at 68, we were retired, settling into the slower rhythm of life after the kids were grown, grandkids on the way. Days were filled with walks in Central Park, museums, dinners with friends, maybe a Broadway show now and then. Comfortable, safe, predictable. Maybe that was the problem. The day I met Ethan was just another Tuesday. Volunteering at the community center in our neighborhood, something I did a couple of times a month to feel useful. Nothing fancy, sorting donations for the food bank, setting up chairs for events, chatting with the other volunteers. It filled the quiet hours while John tinkered with his model train set in the den. Ethan was new. Younger, much younger, probably mid-20s, but he carried himself with a kind of quiet confidence that made him seem older. Personal trainer, he said, which explained the sculpted physique, the easy smile. First glance, nothing. Just another face in the crowd, another volunteer lending a hand. But then we got paired up, setting up tables for a fundraiser. Small talk, the weather, the neighborhood, how long we'd been volunteering. Easy, breezy conversation. But there was something in his voice, the way he looked at me, that felt different. Later that night, sitting across from John at dinner, I realized I was still thinking about Ethan. A fleeting thought, a momentary distraction, but it lingered, a little too long. I brushed it off. Silly. What could it possibly be? I was a 68-year-old woman, happily married, way past chasing fantasies. But the next week, back at the community center, Ethan was there again. And the feeling returned, stronger this time. He greeted me with a smile that sent a jolt through me, unexpected, unsettling. As we worked together again, sorting books for a donation drive, I found myself drawn to him in a way I couldn't explain. Not just the youth, the good looks, though he was undeniably attractive. It was something else. He made me feel alive, seen, noticed, in a way John hadn't in years. It's hard to explain the shift that happens after decades of marriage. You become partners, companions in the deepest sense of the word. John and I had our routines, our shared history, we knew each other's souls, but the spark, the passion, had dimmed over time. I told myself it was normal, just part of growing old together. But then Ethan walked into the picture and suddenly there was a spark again, a flicker of something I hadn't realized I'd been missing. And it terrified me. I told myself it was nothing. A silly crush, a harmless fantasy that would fade as quickly as it appeared. But deep down, I knew it was more. I was playing with fire, and I knew, with a chilling certainty, I was going to get burned. The next few weeks were a blur. Volunteering at the community center became a tightrope walk. Each time I saw Ethan, the tension between us tightened. Subtle at first, lingering glances, smiles held a fraction too long, a brush of his hand against mine as we reached for the same book, simmering just below the surface, waiting to boil over. I tried to push it away, to focus on John, on our life. But every time Ethan was near, that jolt returned, stronger each time. The more I tried to ignore it, the harder it became to resist. One afternoon, after we finished setting up for a kid's art class, Ethan offered to walk me to the subway. Small gesture, he'd done it before. But this time, the air felt different. As we walked through the bustling city street, the noise of traffic fading around us, I could feel the tension building, thick and heavy. When we reached the subway entrance, Ethan hesitated, unsure. Then he spoke. "Mary," he said, his voice low, sincere. "I've really enjoyed working with you. You're different." My heart skipped a beat. Heat flushed my cheeks. Words caught in my throat. I should have thanked him, turned, and gone down the steps. But I stood there, frozen, caught in the current of my own emotions. And then before I could stop myself, I said the words that changed everything. "I have too." Simple words, loaded with dynamite. Ethan looked at me, his eyes searching mine, and in that moment I knew. We'd crossed a line, no going back now. It didn't happen fast. Weeks I wrestled with guilt, the shame of these forbidden feelings. Every time I saw Ethan, a cocktail of excitement and dread churned inside me. Teetering on the edge of something dangerous, thrilling, couldn't help myself. Drawn to him like a moth to a flame, powerless against the pull of his charm. Then, one afternoon, it broke. We'd finished sorting donations. Ethan walked me to the subway as usual. But this time, instead of a quick goodbye, we lingered. The subway platform was crowded, the roar of an approaching train momentarily swallowing the city noise. Stillness in that brief lull, a pocket of quiet around us. And in that moment, I knew something was about to shatter. Ethan turned to me, face serious, eyes intense. "Mary," he began, voice low, steady above the rumble of the train. "I need to tell you something." Breath caught in my chest, heart hammered against my ribs. Didn't know what he'd say, but I knew it would be the match to the dry tinder. "I can't stop thinking about you," he whispered, voice barely audible. "I know it's wrong, but I can't help it. I'm drawn to you." His words hit me like a physical blow. Speechless. I'd been feeling it too, but hearing him say it out loud made it real, terrifyingly real. "Ethan, we can't," I started, but he cut me off. "I know," he said, anguish in his voice. "I know this is crazy, but I can't pretend anymore. I want you, Mary." Walk away. I should have walked away. Told him it was a mistake, we could never be anything more than volunteers, community center acquaintances. But I stood there, rooted to the spot, mind racing, 1,000 conflicting emotions tearing me apart. And then, before I could stop myself, I did the one thing I swore I'd never do. I kissed him. The second our lips met, I knew. A line crossed, burned to ashes behind me. A flicker, a suspension of time, the city noise fading, only the warmth of Ethan's kiss. Then, reality crashed back, harder than I could have imagined. I pulled away, heart racing, guilt a tidal wave. "What have I done?" I whispered, more to myself than him. Ethan looked at me, eyes swirling with confusion, regret. "Mary, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you." Stepped back, needing air, space to breathe. "No, it's my fault. Shouldn't have let this happen. I'm married, Ethan. We can't do this." He nodded, struggle etched on his face. "I know. Never wanted to hurt you, get in the way of your life, but..." I didn't let him finish. "It was a mistake. We can't. Have to forget this." Ethan's face fell. For a moment, thought he might argue, try to convince me it wasn't a mistake. But he just nodded, eyes sad, resigned. "If that's what you want." Only thing I could say. Only way to salvage a shred of dignity. Driving home that evening, the weight of guilt pressed down, suffocating. How could I have let this happen? Allowed myself to be pulled into something so reckless, so dangerous. Arrived home, John in the living room watching TV. Glanced up as I walked in. Same warm smile he always gave me. "Hey, how was the community center?" Cheerful voice, completely oblivious to the storm raging inside me. Forced a smile, heart aching. "Fine," I lied, voice trembling, just barely. Usual stuff. John didn't notice. Back to the TV. Kitchen, mind spinning. Stop this. Had to end it with Ethan before it destroyed everything John and I had. But it wasn't going to be that simple. Next few days, a haze of confusion, guilt. Tried to avoid Ethan, kept my distance at the community center. No eye contact, conversations clipped, businesslike. Harder than I expected. The pull hadn't vanished. Stronger, maybe. Every time I saw him, that electric thrill, no matter how hard I fought it. Ethan felt it too. Said nothing, didn't push, but I saw it in his eyes. Longing, unspoken desire, simmering. dangerous game. If I didn't stop it, things would explode. Then, one afternoon, it all detonated. Stayed late at the community center, helping clean up after a kid's fair. Most volunteers gone. Alone in the storage room, stacking boxes, organizing supplies. Thought I was alone. Footsteps behind me. Turned. Ethan in the doorway. "Ethan!" Shaky voice. "What are you doing here?" Hesitated, eyes searching mine. "Needed to see you. I can't stop thinking about you, Mary." Panic flared. "Ethan, we can't. Told you, mistake." He stepped closer. Voice low, intense. "Didn't feel like a mistake to me. Don't think it did to you either." Stepped back, heart hammering. "Ethan, please, stop this before it goes too far." Instead of stopping, he closed the distance. Hand reached out, touched mine. Rational thoughts evaporated. Pull too strong, desire overwhelming. Kissed him again. No hesitation this time. No doubt. Reckless, dangerous, exhilarating. Lost myself in it for a moment. Let myself believe I could have this. Could balance my life with John. This secret with Ethan. Then it ended. Guilt crashed back, heavier than before. "Have to go," I whispered, pulling away, grabbing my bag. "Can't do this." Ethan reached for me, voice desperate. "Mary, please." Didn't let him finish. Rushed out, heart pounding, tears stinging. What had I done? How had I let it happen again? That night, sleepless, awake in bed, staring at the ceiling, mind a runaway train of guilt, shame. John slept soundly beside me, oblivious to the inferno inside me, sick with betrayal, knowing I'd crossed a line I could never uncross. Next morning, decision made. End it for good. No more secret meetings, stolen kisses. Tell Ethan it was over. No contact outside the community center. Only way to save what was left of my marriage. Stop the guilt from consuming me. But life, I was about to learn, has a way of ripping apart even the best laid plans. Planned to meet Ethan at the community center that afternoon. End it all. Before I could leave, John stopped me. "Mary," he said, voice calm, serious. "We need to talk." Heart lurched. Found out? Did he know? "What's wrong?" Steady voice, pretending calm. John sighed, ran a hand through thinning hair. "Been thinking a lot lately about us, our life." Swallowed hard, mind racing. This it? Moment he confronts me. "I know we've been distant," he continued, eyes filled with concern. "Things haven't been the same between us for a while now." Lump in my throat. He didn't know, not about Ethan, just sensed the distance. "Don't want to lose you, Mary," John said, voice soft, almost pleading. "I love you. Don't know where we went wrong, but I want to fix it. Want us to be close again." Tears welled, crushing guilt. John, good man, didn't deserve this. Betrayal I'd brought into our marriage. "I love you too," I whispered, voice breaking. I'm so sorry, John, for everything." He smiled gently, took my hand. "Not too late, Mary. We can work through this. Fix things." Nodded, heartbreaking. Wanted to believe him. Wanted to believe we could go back, repair the damage. Deep down, truth screamed. Ethan had changed everything. No going back. Still, promised myself I'd try. End it with Ethan, rebuild with John. Only way forward. Arrived at the community center, Ethan already waiting. Hope in his eyes as I approached. Knew what I had to do. "We need to talk." Firm voice. He nodded, serious expression. "I can't do this anymore, Ethan," continued, heart heavy. "Can't see each other like this. I love my husband. Can't keep betraying him." Ethan's face fell. Moment. Thought he'd argue, try to convince me to stay. Instead, just nodded, sadness in his eyes. "Understand," he said quietly. "Don't want to hurt you, Mary." "Never did." "I know," I whispered, voice trembling, but this has to end." He looked away, jaw clenched. "Just thought maybe we had something real." "We did," I admitted, voice cracking. "But it's over now. Has to be." Silence. Thick, heavy with unspoken emotions. Turned to leave. Strange mix of relief, heartbreak. Ended it, but consequences far from over. Next few weeks, threw myself into rebuilding with John. More time together, reconnecting, ways we hadn't in years. Seemed to work for a while. Talking more, laughing, small moments of joy, but guilt, constant shadow. Ended it with Ethan, but damage done. Couldn't move on, escape consequences. Then, one evening, phone rang. Answered, expecting Sarah, Michael, a friend. Voice on the line, unfamiliar, cold. Mary Johnson? Voice asked, flat, chilling. Yes, heart pounding. Who is this? Pause. Then, voice again, chilling edge. You've made a mistake, Mary. A big one. Blood ran cold. Who is this? Line went dead. Phone call haunted me. Replayed it over and over. Make sense of it. You've made a mistake. Echoed in my head, filling me with dread. Someone found out about Ethan? Sick prank? Or something darker lurking? Told no one, not even John. Kind, patient, rebuilding. Couldn't drag him into this mess I'd made with Ethan. Told myself, nothing. Wrong number, cruel prank. Deep down knew better. Knew. Second call came. Thursday evening. John out, visiting old college friend. Alone in the apartment, book in lap, phone rang. Heart leaped, reached for it, hands trembling. Hello? Pause. Same cold voice. I warned you, Mary. Heart raced, blood drained from my face. Who are you? What do you want? Thought you could hide your little secret. Voice continued, calm, menacing. Secrets have a way of coming out. Panic rising. What do you want from me? Money? Blackmail? Low, sinister chuckle. Oh, Mary, not about money, about you paying for what you've done. People always pay one way or another. Couldn't breathe. Mind raced. Ethan's girlfriend, Lisa, found out? Or Ethan himself twisted game? No. Ethan hurt, yes, but not cruel. Whoever this was knew, wanted something worse than money. What do you want from me? Whispered, shaking. Don't worry, voice said softly. You'll find out soon enough. Line went dead. Collapsed on couch, mind reeling. Whoever this person was knew about Ethan. Threatening me. Why? What did they want? How had they found out? Next few days, blur of fear, paranoia, phone calls, constant thought, someone watching. Started noticing things. Footsteps outside apartment at night. Car parked down the street, always there. At first, thought imagining it. Stress, guilt, paranoia. But the more I noticed, the more real it became. Someone watching, someone waiting, considered police. What could I say? Had an affair, someone threatening me. Questions. Questions I couldn't answer. Questions that could shatter everything with John. Instead, confront Ethan. Maybe he knew something. Terrifying possibility. Person behind this, closer than I thought. Found Ethan at the gym, surprised to see me. Hint of something else in his eyes. Concern? Guilt? Mary, hesitant voice. What are you doing here? Thought we need to talk, interrupted, sharper than intended. Now? Ethan led me to quiet corner, away from clients, trainers, confusion in his eyes, no time for easing in. Have you told anyone about us? Demanded, heart pounding. Ethan's eyes widened. What? No, haven't told anyone. Why would I? Studied his face. Lying? Genuinely confused, worried. Someone knows, whispered, shaking voice. Getting phone calls, threats. They know about us, Ethan. Ethan's expression darkened. Stepped closer, voice low, urgent. Mary, I swear, didn't tell anyone. Never do that. Wanted to believe him, needed to, but fear, relentless. Then how do they know? Voice cracking. Ethan ran hand through hair, face pale. Don't know, but we have to figure this out. Did they say what they wanted? Just said I made a mistake. I'd pay for what I'd done. Ethan clenched jaw, anger flashing. Has to be Lisa, almost to himself. She must have found out. No, Ethan, voice trembling. Lisa wouldn't do this. Lisa wouldn't hurt you like that. She's not vindictive. She'd confront me before something like this. Not sure I believed him. Then who? Who could it be? No answer. Chest tightened with fear. Ethan reached out, took my hand, pleading eyes. Mary, we'll figure this out. Promise. Hollow promises. Left the gym, fear gnawing, relentless, unyielding. Whoever was behind this out there waiting, and I didn't know how to stop them. Week passed, no more calls. Unease didn't fade, jumping at every sound, shadow. Even John noticed my anxiety, despite my best efforts to hide it. Everything all right, Mary? Asked one evening, couch, hand gently on mine, brow furrowed. Forced smile, heart racing. Yes, fine. Just tired. John studied me, eyes tender, guilt twisted tighter. Kind, forgiving, repairing our marriage. And here I was, keeping secrets. Confess everything? Crossed my mind. Couldn't do it. Couldn't destroy him like that. Peace I'd hoped for never came. Following day, envelope in the mail. No return address, no name, just my name, neat handwriting. Heart raced, tore it open, hands trembling. Single photograph inside, me and Ethan. Day we kissed in the subway station, standing close, faces inches apart, lost in the moment. Proof. Betrayal, clear, undeniable. Gasped, dropped photo as if burned. Heart pounded, nausea washed over me. Whoever took photo watching us. Seen everything, using it now. Against me. Note inside envelope. Brief, same neat handwriting as address. I told you there would be consequences. Stared at note, hands shaking, serious. Proof destroy my marriage, reputation, everything. No choice. Confront Ethan again. Terrifying possibility. Person behind this closer than I thought. Arrived at gym to confront Ethan. Already waiting, as if expected me. Face pale, tension in his expression. Something changed. Before I could speak, phone up, text message, same photograph, kissing in the subway. They sent this to me. Ethan, voice tight, fear. Don't know who it is, Mary, but they're watching us. Blood ran cold. What do they want? Ethan shook head. Haven't said yet, but figure out who this is before they do something worse. Mind raced. Lisa. Still insisted she wouldn't. John? No idea. Someone new. Watching. Closing in. Maybe someone from community center. Ethan, unsure voice. Maybe someone saw us. I don't know, whispered, trembling. But we have to stop this. Ethan nodded, face set. We'll figure it out. We have to. Left the gym, feeling it was already too late.